Hi there guys, it's Joel here from Aussie Chart Trends. Today we're going to be checking out the asx200 and the smp500. I hope everyone's had a well-needed break and is slowly getting back into the swing of things. So let's get into it. Before I get into the update, just as per usual, I've just got to remind everyone that aussiecharttrends.com.au and this video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the site or in this video is intended to be used as any form of investment advice. I'm not a licensed professional. You need to make your own decisions regarding your investments. I'm just here to help anyone searching for a practical direction in today's markets. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. We've been looking at this inverted head and shoulders pattern with our left shoulder here, our head, our right shoulder, and our handle breakout. Now this red line here serves as our neckline to this pattern. Now obviously we're underneath this neckline at the moment, and it is not a positive sign for the market. Because usually after a nice back test on this neckline you would see a nice move up. Now we haven't seen that. Also the last couple of days we've watched the S&P break this blue trend line. Now this had a number of touches, 1, 2, almost 3, 4, 5, 6 touches before this line gave way. Now I've drawn two new trend lines on the chart. This bottom trend line here and this top trend line here. Now in last night's trade, the interesting thing is that we broke below that 1415 area that has been previous support to our left shoulder, and you can see here we broke that area last night, but then we closed over it. So I'm not sure whether this was a false break. It's an unknown as far as I'm concerned. But typically after breaking a rising channel or a channel of any sort, you'd expect that the market would come up and backtest on this area. So the S&P 500 needs to stay between that 1415 area and get over that 1435 area. But as you can see, we've got two new areas now of resistance, one being this blue line here that's rising, and this red line here. So I think in the next coming days we should see a nice backtest on this blue line here. And let's see if we can get over it. I hope that we can, because we've seen this happen before with the S&P, that volatility where there may be a lot of political things, a lot of fundamental things that can sway the markets a fair bit and take a lot of traders out of their positions. At the moment the news is about the fiscal cliff, and it is a fairly large issue, and if the governments can't sort it out, well, it would be represented in the chart. So you can see these swift moves down is a representation of people's emotions at the moment as to being unsure as what's going on. But I think that the fact that we closed over that 1415 area is a nice positive sign. It did scare me a bit there when we seen that break of that 1415 area, but we'd need to see a close below that area to get worried. Now our next level of support down is around that 1395 area. So if the markets do decide to come down within this channel again, well, I would say then we should find an area of support on this area. So let's see if we get that back test, and let's see what happens in the short term. If I zoom the chart in a little bit, the only bullish possibility that I can sort of see at the moment is that we may be creating a little reversal pattern here. So if we could get over this 1425 area, 1424, 1425, we may be able to see a nice move up in this index. But if we move just straight up to this line here for a back test, then I'd be starting to worry about this market. Alright guys, let's move on to the asx200 and see what's going on in our market. Looking at the hourly chart here of the asx200, we have been looking at our inverted head and shoulders pattern. Now we've got a left shoulder here, a head, a right shoulder with our breakout. Now we had a small intraday back test here, and then the markets took off. Now I've been expecting that potentially we were looking at a little reversal pattern here with our left shoulder here, a head, and maybe a right shoulder forming, and it looked as if we were going to break that line and come down to retest that neckline. But we didn't get that break, and I think a good lesson learned from reading these charts is I think I need just to put more trust in these patterns. I would say about 2 out of every 3 inverted head and shoulders patterns that I've seen plays out. Now we've got this pattern here with our breakout here, and the asx200 still has that target around that 4,730 level, and we're not far off it, guys. We're getting fairly close to that target within this green channel line. So for now, guys, the asx200 is behaving and it's doing everything that it should be. I do find it interesting that the smp500 had such a plummet last night and a very volatile time, and you look at the asx200 and we're steaming on up. So it's a very good sign for our market, and I hope that things do stay that way. So guys, for now, that's fairly much the update for today. I don't really have much else to add. I'll be back tomorrow with the weekly review, and I hope that you guys are enjoying these updates. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, all I ask is that you subscribe to my YouTube channel just to receive these free daily updates and spread the word about the site and what I do. Feel free to pop past my website as well. You can sign up to the forum, and you can also sign up to my newsletter, so you may benefit from that. I'll be back tomorrow with the weekly update. Thanks for watching.